Hello everyone, you're watching the Project Magnet. Today you will hear the incredible story of Emile Leray, the man who likes adventures and who wanted to take a solitary tour of Africa, driving his car. The result of the travel can be easily adapted to the Hollywood movie. Before going to Africa, Emile traveled to South Africa by his yellow Citroen. His economy car was equipped pretty well. Emile stocked it with all possible tools, and of course, he didn't forget about food and water. He started with Morocco and headed to Mauritania. However, at that time in 1993, heavy fighting erupted in neighboring Western Sahara. Leray left the city of Tenten, that wasn't far from the border, and he came across a military checkpoint. The border guards flatly refused to let the traveler pass in and ordered him to go back to Tenten. Emile didn't want to back down, so he pretended that he obeyed and he decided to go around the roadblock. There was no other way, so the driver had to go through a stony desert. Emile made a detour of several dozen kilometers. He was steadily striving for a goal, but suddenly his car ran into the boulder and its bottom rested on the ground. The suspension was broken. Emile was ready for any breakdown, but he wasn't for that. A growing realization that the car won't be able to go anymore and there were at least 40 kilometers till next locality shocked him. He was almost in despair, but he gathered every ounce of willpower quickly. As he was an avid traveler, he understood how dangerous it is to go across the desert by foot. In that heat, it was too risky to walk 40 kilometers. Emile knew perfectly that his life was at stake. Every minute counted. Every sip of water and an eaten piece of bread exhausted his supplies. At that moment, Emile Leray made a decision that most people would never did. He decided to take Citroen apart and build a motorbike on which he could reach the village. So he didn't want to waste the time and got to work. Emile says the following: "Every move I made was at a premium. Every thought and then action amounted to my survival. And sometimes I thought how silly it is that my life depends on a heap of steel. I have always loved my Citroen, but now it has become a special kind of family for me." He used the car body as a shelter from the heat of days and the cold of nights, and the rest of the details were for consumption. Emile sawed the transverse front and backside spars and made of them a frame for a motorbike. There weren't any chains, so to transfer the torque to the wheel, Leray adapted the brake drum. He has been working for 10 days. "When I finished," Emile says, "I looked at this pile of metal on wheels and said to myself, that's how your life looks like, buddy." Emile took tools, a map, a compass, a tent, the water and food, and drove on. Before getting dark, he managed to get to the road and settled for the night. But unfortunately, he couldn't have a rest. Those border guards who didn't let Emile cross the border heard the noise of handmade motorbike. They took him for a spy, having seen the traveler next to the unusual mechanism. He was arrested immediately. Leray tried to explain everything, but they didn't believe him until they went with him to the crash site. Having left two guards near the suspicious machine. They saw that he didn't lie and then released him by giving a ticket for driving an unregistered vehicle. And because of that, on arrival in the city, he was forced to give his creation a license plate number. Emile keeps his monster at home, and from time to time he drives it to all sorts of themed parties. Many people know that he has performed a little miracle. I would like to hear your opinion. What does this story teach us? Leave the comment down below, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. See you soon.